I think way back in 2006, there were less technologies that were available in Fiji. Most of it were used for business purposes. Government organization used most of it. But for individuals, there were not very much that were available. And most of the mobile phones that were used were analog. You know, the push button one where the Alcatel, you can throw it to a dog and it'll cry and die. Those are the archaic technologies that were used back then. But as we progress throughout the years, one of our first cases was based on pornography, where university students were exploited. The young girls at the university were exploited by very senior people that exploited them for sexual favors. This was one of the first cases that we addressed. And I know if you will look back at your archives, your news archives, it was highlighted back then. It was one of the big cases that we highlighted. But it increases after the introduction of social media. Social media was introduced in 2009 in Fiji. Then all of a sudden the amount of online crimes started to increase because it covers a whole lot of aspects. But in terms of gender-based violence, it started with technology, even though it wasn't clearly defined back then. But it has its presence surrounding technology. The limitation of devices in certain areas, even in homes, have caused some of the strenuous relationship in the individual homes. Also, the use, the platform that were introduced by these devices, that is widely used now as social media platforms. These have caused some of the abuse, online harassment, and all of these that have caused, even ended up in a very bad situation where people have intended to take their life, or some have lost their life. So as technology and development grows, so does the impact of how it impacts individual lives also grows with it. And this is part of the development that not only Fiji is undergoing, but all of the developed countries who use technology. But we are fortunate that we have such advocates in Fiji. The Fiji Women's Crisis Center, Ms. Ali sitting here, and the Online Safety Commission that have been so vocal about this ongoing abuse. Even though the dynamics have changed, the platform have changed, it goes online now, but the impact of it on individual life is still the same. They still faces abuse. Most even have lost their life.